so we're just going to start with the bottom first. So we're going to start with some ankle circles just to warm up. So let's just ankle circle through onto one leg. Good. Change the direction of the circle. Super. And then changing legs. Good. And then change the direction of the circle. Good, really nice. We're just going to do some leg swings. So it's just a really, really small leg swing. If you want to hold on to something, feel free to hold on to something. I just want you to swing that leg forwards and backwards. Don't really think too much about what you are doing. I just want you to loosen up into that hip. Good, so feel free to hold on if you need to. Just trying to get some movement in that hip. Good, and then we'll change the leg, so onto the other leg. Again, just nice and relaxed, not too high. Just getting some movement in those hips. Good, really nice. Okay, coming back to the center. Make sure your feet are hip width apart. We're going to go into a lower back rotation. So let's place the hands across the chest. Inhale. As you exhale, let's rotate over onto one side. And then inhale, come back to the center. And then exhale as you go over to the other side. And then inhale, come back to the center. And exhale. In. In. Good. Don't worry if you're doing it in a different time to me. Just really try and think about really rotating through that lower back. Keep those hips facing forwards. I'm going to do one more on each side. Good, and then come back to the center. Good, we're going to take the arms out. We're going to think about hugging that beach ball, so I'll just show you from the side. You're going to hug that beach ball, really separate those shoulder blades, bring the chin down towards the chest. Good, really stretch through that spine, and then inhale, you're going to open those arms back up. Good, exhale, bring the chin to the chest. Good. And then inhale, come back. If you want to hold that stretch for a little bit longer, feel free. Good, let's do one more. And then bring the arms down. Good, just finishing off with that neck. So let's take our head over to one side. Really stretch through that neck, and then over to the other. Back to the top, turn the head over to one side. That shoulder, then back to the center, and then over to the other. And then back to the center. Good, ladies. Okay, we're going to go into some squats. So take those feet hip width apart. Take a nice deep breath in to start with. As you exhale, you're going to come down, keep those knees in line. And then breathe in, come back to the top. And exhale, think belly button to spine, really lengthen through that lower back. Good. Keep those toes nice and relaxed. Take the weight into those heels, into the triangle underneath your foot. So you're pressing that weight into the ball of your feet and your heels, keeping those toes nice and relaxed. One more like this. Good, really nice. We're gonna just do it and make it a little bit harder. We're gonna add an arm swing. So we're gonna inhale. We're gonna exhale as we come down. Now we want to hold this position as we swing the arms back, forwards, and then press back up to the top. So I'll just show you from the side. So we're gonna come down, lengthen through those arms, so keep that back nice and long, swing the arms back and forwards, and then come back up to the top. Good. Inhale, exhale as you go down. Arm swing, and up, and down, arm swing. Good, 4 more, down, and 3, down, up, 2 more, good, last one, and down, and up, good, very nice, give those legs a nice little bit of a shake. We're going to go now into a wide squat, so taking the legs a little bit wider. We're just going to take the arms out to the side as we go down, so just check that those toes are pointing slightly further outwards. Now what we don't want to do with this squat is bring our knees forward. So we want to try and keep that back as straight as we can. As we go down, we pull those knees over those toes, bring those arms out to the side, and then pull back up. Bring belly button to spine, so from the front, inhale. Exhale as you go down. Inhale as you go. And down. And good. Down. And down. And 4. And up. And 3. Press the heels into the floor. 2. Up. Last one. Down. And up. Good. Very nice. Okay, bringing the legs together. We're going to go into our balance. So we're going to lift one leg up into our balance. We're then going to rotate over the front leg. You don't have to go too far. Then come back to the center. And then lower back down. Change over into the other side. Lift up. Rotate. Back to the center, and then lower back. Good. Transfer the weight. Check we don't sit into those hips as we go. So we're really lifting out of those hips, keeping them nice and level. And again, check that the weight is nicely underneath the sole of the foot. Check you're not clawing those toes. Lengthen through the spine. Super. 4 more. Two more to go in your own time. Last one. Lift. Over. Good. Super. Giving those legs a shake once you've done. Brilliant. Okay, let's go into our tightrope walk. So finding your space at one end of your mat, getting your position. So again, just check you're not tilting that pelvis forwards. We really want to think about lengthening the tailbone down to the floor, drawing the front of those abdominals up, and the shoulders are nice and relaxed. Squeezing those inner thighs together, transfer the weight from one foot to the other. Lengthen through, transfer. Good. Really think about keeping that spine nice and long. Watch you don't look down towards the floor. Trying to keep the head nice and high. And then once you get to the end of the mat, you're then just going to go backwards. Really try and think about slowing it down, taking the weight through the feet, keeping that pelvis nice and still. So imagine that bowl of water around the pelvis. Good, and then just finishing off the one that you're doing. And relaxing off. Okay, a little bit of arm work. We're going to go into our bow and arrow standing up. So again, just check your feet are hip width apart. What we don't want to do with this, again, is rotate through the hips. So we want to keep the hips facing forwards. We're going to take the arms out, and we want to try and keep them at shoulder height and our palms facing each other. From here, you're going to pull one hand all the way back, start to rotate through the upper body. Watch you don't, again, sink into that pelvis. So really think, tuck that pelvis, lengthen at the spine at the back, and then rotate out. Again, check you don't lift that shoulder, so lengthen that shoulder down, bring the arm back in, and then extend to the front. Changing to the other side, so we pull back, we extend. We bring it in, we pull forwards. Good, it will work into our arm muscles as well. So working into those biceps and those triceps as we go. while opening out through the chest, working into those shoulder blades. Try and keep those arms nice and high. Let's do 4 more from here. Keep those shoulders down. Good. 2 more. And then just bring the arms down, give them a nice good swing, super. Okay, let's do some roll downs before we head to the floor. So taking those feet, again, hip width apart, let's really think about our posture to start with. Nice and long posture, weight into the sole of the foot, keeping those toes nice and relaxed. Inhale to start with. As you exhale, bring the chin to the chest, roll down through the spine. 1 vertebra at a time as we roll down. Good. Inhale at the bottom. And then exhale as we come back. Exhale. Good. So again, keep going in your own time with this one. Don't feel like you have to follow me. If you feel like you have a really tight spot, if you feel a really tight stretch at a certain point, feel free to hold it there for a moment before you continue down. Okay, so on your next one, let's head all the way down to the floor. Going to come onto our hands and our knees to start with. So when you're ready, nice deep breath in, chin to chest, rolling down. And coming onto your hands and your knees. Good, so just checking your knees are underneath your hips and your hands are underneath your shoulders. Good, check you're not just sitting too far back or leaning too far onto those wrists. Really think about having that weight nice and even over all 4 points. Good, we're just going to start with the legs. So keeping the hands and the head nice and still. Watch you don't drop that head, keep it nicely in line. You're going to come into a leg extension, so extending one leg, belly button to spine as you lift. Good. Lower and then So you're trying to keep those hips nice and square. Watch you don't dip that back. Think about lengthening the spine, lengthen the leg away as you go. Lengthen, imagine someone pulling those toes out into that direction. If you feel comfortable now, you can introduce the arm. Let me just move my mat, it's just running away from me. So introducing the opposite arm, so extend the arm and the leg. Good. Then from here, think about lengthening the arm and the leg away. Again, try not to dip into that lower back. So really think belly button to spine, reach away. Good. Lower and then change, lift, good. Try and keep nice and still. Good. Let's do one more on each side. Lengthening, lift. Good. And then just sitting back onto those heels, stretch those arms out in front of you. Just take one arm over to one side and then just walk the other hand over to meet it, keeping those hips where they are, stretching down the side of the body. And then hold this position. Good. Bring it back to the center. And then take it over to the other side. Good. Really stretch through that side of the body. Try and keep those hips where they are. And then back to the center. Good. Okay, in your own time, coming over onto your hands and your knees. Sorry, not onto your hands and your knees, we've just done that. We're going to go onto our side. So, onto your side, you're going to bend your legs up. So just check that your heels are further forward than your bums, and your hips and your shoulders are in line. So just watch, we're not curving and looking down. We're trying to lengthen the spine, even though we're laid sideways. That crown of the head still wants to be reaching away. Good. Now working into your glute, you're going to think about wrapping that glute round as you lift your leg into your clamshell. Again, keep your hip nice and still, so watch you don't open too much and start to roll backwards. You want to keep that hip nicely on top and then slowly lower back down. And lift. Think about really drawing up with those pelvic floor muscles. And really think about using that glute to lift that leg, hold it briefly at the top to really get that contraction in the muscle, and then slowly lower back down. Good, let's do 4 more on this leg. We'll do a side series on one side and then we'll change onto the other. So 3 more. Good, 2 more to go. Good. Okay, stretching the top leg out. We're going to go into our leg circle, so flexing the foot. Again, keep those hips stacked on top of each other, so we don't want to be moving that pelvis forwards and backwards. We really want to be just moving the leg from the hip. So we're going to take that circle nice and small as we lift round, back and down. Use the abdominals as you take the leg forwards, so engage to lift, and then as you take that leg behind, feel like that glute's kicking in. Good. You're going to do 8 circles in one direction, and then 8 circles in the other. Good. Nice and slowly. Really keep control so that the shoulder and the hip stay nicely in line. So nothing else should be moving apart from that leg. Good. 4. 6. 7. Good, you can give it a little rest. Just remember which direction you went in. Give it a little bit of a rub. And then when you're ready, we're going to go in the opposite direction. Just watch your top shoulder doesn't start to creep up towards your ears. Again, really think about still keeping a nice posture even though we're laid on our side. And then when you're ready, let's go in the opposite direction. Again, still the same control. Think glutes and abdominals working. Try not to move that pelvis. 2. 3. 1 more. 8. Good, super. Again, just relax off. Give that leg a little bit of a rub, and then we're going to do a double leg extension. So for this exercise, if you can have your hands on your hip, I don't mind if you have a little bit of pressure with those fingertips at the front. Just watch you don't apply lots of force as we do this exercise. So we're going to try and keep those legs together, squeeze those inner thighs. You're just going to lift your legs off the floor and then lower back down. Think about keeping the ankles, the hips and the shoulders in line. So don't swing those legs forwards or backwards. Lift up and then good. 8 of these. And up Good, really nice. Just bending those legs up. Let's finish off with a shoulder stretch before we change onto the other side. So take both arms out in front, just let that head relax down. Inhale as you take the arm up towards the ceiling, follow it with your head. And then just take the arm as far back as you can. And then bring it back up and over. I'm just going to look slightly further forward. Good. So we come up and good. Really feel that stretch coming across the chest and into the shoulder. Keeping those knees together and those trying to keep the connection on the floor with that bottom knee as well. So try not to lift. Really get that rotation in that spine. Let's do 2 more. Last one. Good, super. And then when you're ready, in your own time, let's make our way over onto the other side. Okay, so bending your knees up, checking that your heels are further forward than your glutes, and your shoulders and your hips are nicely stacked. Good. So keeping those ankles together, using that glute, you're just going to wrap and lift that knee, drawing up with those pelvic floor muscles, belly button to spine, as you slowly lower back down. Good. 1, 2, nice and slowly as you lower that leg. And squeeze at the top. Good, really nice. Okay, extend that top leg, flex that foot. So again, trying to keep those pelvises nice and still. You really want this work to come from the ball and socket joint, using the abdominals and the glutes to fix that pelvis in place. You're going to do a nice circle with that leg, 8 circles in one direction and 8 circles in the other. So going nice and slowly so you can feel the connection with the abdominals and the glutes. Relax those shoulders. One more. Super. Have a little break once you've done 8 on one side. And then when you're ready to go on the other side, Extend that leg back out. So go in the opposite direction this time. Again, really take your time. It doesn't matter how big the circle goes, just let it go as big as your hip will allow. So I'd rather it be a small circle, keeping those hips nice and still. Oh, sorry, I should say pelvis nice and still. And the work comes from that ball and socket joint. Good, bending those knees in, just give it a little bit of a roll. And then into our double leg extension. So again, you can have that front hand on the floor if you need to. Just check you don't push down with it. Try and keep those shoulders stacked on top of each other as well as those hips. As you lift the legs, watch you don't swing them forwards or backwards. Try and take them straight up and then straight back down. We're going to do 8 of these. Lift and lower. Again, don't worry how high you get those legs. As long as you're activating those muscles, that's the most important thing. Lift. Relaxing off once you've done your 8. Super. Bending your legs up. Take your time. And then we're going to take both arms forward. I'm just going to shuffle the floor forwards again. Good. Relaxing the head down. Then take the arm up towards the ceiling. As you exhale, keep the head looking up towards the ceiling as you take the arm as far back as you can. Inhale. And then come back to the start. Good, nice deep breath in and out. In and out. Good, nice deep breath in. Open out through that chest. Again, keep those knees together. Keep the connection with that bottom knee to the floor. Let's do 2 more. And last one. Super. And then once you finish there, is coming to lie on your back for our last little bit. Just going to work into our abdominals to finish, and then we'll do a nice stretch. So we're going to take the arms behind the head, and then we're going to bring the legs to hip width apart, making sure again that the majority of your weight is under the soles of the feet. The toes are nice and relaxed. So we're just going to start with a nice abdominal curl to get those abdominals activated. So inhale to start with. Exhale as you bring that rib cage down towards the hips. Draw the belly button in towards the spine. Now check that you're not tucking that pelvis or squeezing into those hips. Inhale at the top if you can. And then exhale as you come back down. Good. Inhale. And exhale as you come up. Inhale. And then exhale as you come back down. Good. And in. So really think again about activating those abdominals. It's not about how high you can get yourself. It's really about sending that rib cage down towards the hips so you can get that connection with the upper transverse abdominals, and then also think about drawing up with those pelvic floor muscles, controlling those lower abdominals as well. Check that your head is in that hammock of a hand, or hands I should say, as you come up, so you're not tensing through that neck. It's really nice and relaxed. So all the work is coming from those abdominals. Good, let's do 4 more. 4. And 3. Last one. And then relax off once you've done those. Good. Taking the arms above the head, you're going to have the palms facing the ceiling. And your legs are going to come into your tabletop position. So we're going to do exactly the same exercise. We're going to do an abdominal curl. But this time we're going to use the arms slightly different to reach down. So we're going to inhale as we bring the arms up. We're going to exhale, reach the arms down so the palms face the floor. And then we're going to come back to the start. You're going to keep those lower abdominals connected, so drawing up with those pelvic floor muscles to keep the knees on top of the hips. So we don't want the legs to be moving forwards and backwards. We want to hold their position as we just again bring the rib cage down towards the hips and then back to the top. And if you struggle with your neck, you can take one arm behind the head and reach up. Just check that you still come up nice and even. You don't take one arm or one side further up than the other. So exhale as you come up. Inhale as you come back down. Good. Let's do 4 more from here. We're going to go 4. And 3. And lower. 2. And lower. Good. Last one. And then lower down. Bring the knees into the chest and just relax off. Good. If you feel like you want to stretch the abdominals out, feel free to stretch. Okay, our final abdominal exercise is we're just going to do a little bit of a bicycle with our legs. So you can either come up into your abdominal curl, which is slightly more advanced, or you can relax that head if you feel like you've had enough work going on with the neck and the shoulders. You can relax the head down. Take the legs into your bicycle position. If you are using your abdominal curl, we're going to come to here. We're then going to swap our legs 12 times. Now check that your hips don't move from side to side, so press the lower back into the floor. Keep the hips nice and square. We're going to change 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Good. Relaxing off. Well done, ladies. Okay, let's take one leg, hold behind the back of the leg, and then just extend the other leg on the floor. So draw that hip in towards the chest. And take some nice deep breaths. Finish off with a nice stretch. Good. And then just take the knee with the opposite hand and just take it across the body. Try and keep those shoulders nice and flat. Let's change legs. So draw the other leg in towards the chest. And then with the opposite hand, just take the leg across the body, take the other arm out, try and keep those shoulders nice and flat. And then relaxing off, you're going to come up into a seated position just to finish off our last stretch. So we're going to extend one leg out and then we're going to draw the other leg in. Good, so just trying to relax that leg out to the side, and then you're just going to reach as far forward as you can over those legs. And holding this position, trying to relax the muscles in the legs. So really think about releasing all the tension in those hips and upper leg. Good. And then change onto the other side. Muscles in the legs. Good, lovely. Walk yourself back up, and then in your own time for me, ladies, make your way up to standing. So coming over onto your hands and your knees, and rolling up through the spine when you're ready, nice and slowly. Good. Once you get to the top, just give your shoulders a good roll. Good. And then change the direction of the circle. Good. Very nice. Okay, let's finish off with some deep breaths. So take the legs slightly wider. And take a nice big deep breath in, reach up towards the ceiling, and then relax as you breathe out. Good, nice deep breath in, and out, in, and out. One more, nice deep breath in, and then relax.